Hi guys and girls, welcome to my balcony in Solothurn, Switzerland. This is mine and Jared's base for the year with our awesome Swiss host Natalie Schneider, and I'm just enjoying a bit of an R&R today, and he is actually out for a pedal. So it's been 3 weeks since I last checked in after bike days, and in that time I've had 3 more races. After a few solid days of training and settling here in Solothurn, we made the decision to road trip to the Czech Republic for 10 days, and the first stop was the beautiful city of Prague, which is possibly my favourite city in the world. Everything is so cheap in Czech, and for me the city just feels really cool, I suppose. Coincidentally, there was a C1 just a few k from the centre, so I thought I'd hit that up. The course was it was different. It was pretty open paddock in the first half, and then really short, sharp, and quite technical for the second half. It's their cyclocross track year round, so it made for a pretty interesting mountain bike course. We described it like spaghetti because it just kept coming back on itself, and to tell you the truth, I wasn't really loving it in practice for some reason. Anyway, on the Sunday morning, Jared raced the Masters, which kind of took my mind off the race a bit, and then I was called front line for the women's race, and I didn't really know everyone in the field, but from the ones that I did know, I'd sort of decided that anywhere from 3rd to 5th would be really nice. And I got the whole shot and led for the first 10 minutes. I was so nervous leading. I just made mistake after mistake after mistake, and I was pretty glad that it was a fellow Aussie, Beck Henderson, on my wheel at the time. So it was a little less pressure, but we put about 10 seconds into the field, and then eventually I just made one too many mistakes, and Beck had a chance to get around me, and she went through the first lap with a 5-second lead. And I'd probably gone into the red a little bit, and I fell back through the field to 5th, and as the race went on I started to feel good again, and eventually finished really strong in 3rd. So it was my first ever C1 and my first ever C1 podium, and probably just the confidence boost I needed going into Nove Mesto. So the next day we drove through to Nove Mesto. It was about 2 hours from Prague, so not a long drive, and was really excited to kick off the World Cup season. The atmosphere was electric every day leading into the event. You could just tell how excited everyone was to kickstart the season and engage where their form was at. And for me, I love Nove Mesto. It was my debut World Cup last year. The course is amazing. The crowds are spectacular. There's just so much to love, really. And the track is hard. There's about 5 climbs. Some are on a hard-packed fire trail, others on dense pine needles. Then there's 2 expert climbs. They're pretty challenging and unique in themselves, really. Then the descents are just riddled with tree roots and rock gardens and man-made BMX sections, and it's just a course where you're thinking all of the time. And I actually think it's a true mountain biker's course. So I was nervous on race day. I started in 47th, which was 6th row, and I didn't really let it get to me because the start loop is a pretty good opportunity in Nove Mesto to move up. It's a long one, so I probably didn't commit to the start loop proper. I tried to pace myself a little bit and conserve for what I wanted to be a consistent result rather than making a gamble and blowing up. But I felt good. I was climbing well by my standards and descending great, and often getting caught behind some girls who I spent most of the race with, but only by a few seconds. So my nutrition probably didn't go completely to plan. I missed one of my caffeine shots on the second last lap, and I fell in a bit of a hole, but we athletes always have to find something to improve on, so I'll take that out of the race. I finished 27th. Which was obviously my best World Cup result ever, which is the same position I actually finished the start loop in, so just really happy to have that first one behind me, and just have that consistent result. And the good news is I was only just over a minute off, trying for a top 20 position, so that was really cool. And then it was recovery and a bit of rebuild for the World Cup in Albstadt. It's nice to only have a week between races, I think, because the excitement's so high after Nove Mesto, and I just couldn't wait to race again. I would have raced the next day if I could. For me, Albstadt isn't a great course in Germany. I'm not the best climber, and the race pretty much just goes straight up, straight down, twice on 1 lap for 90 minutes. So I hit the course on Thursday, and I actually fell in love. The climbs are so steep that I was running a 32, and some girls ran a 28. But I felt really good on the climbs, and the descents are the same. It's just impossible to slow down, and they require a lot of concentration. But on Thursday I was nailing them. Uploaded to Strava a lot of QOMs, and really happy with everything. And then when I got back on the course on Saturday, I had 3 silly crashes. I lost my head a little bit, and I tried to put that behind me, focus on the race, knowing that last year I was 34th, and that this year I think I'm riding a lot better. And the start loop's short. It's about 1.5 minutes, and I just fully committed to it this time. I was 25th through the start lap, and then worked hard and pushed up to 15th for the first bit of single track. So after starting in 45th, so I was pretty impressed with that, and only 7 girls were able to ride the first climb, and the rest of us were walking due to the sort of bottleneck effect when you hit a single track section. And it was amazing. I was walking behind Gunrita Dahl, in front of Catherine Pendrell, the girls who finished 2nd and 3rd in the bike race, and on the next climb I fell to 18th by the top of the course, but I was still really happy with that. And then it sort of all unravelled from there. I had a girl stall in front of me on Devil's Corner, and I stuffed it up, and I slid down the wooden wall a few metres, and I got up, jumped back on, crashed again on the next drop, again on another drop, finally a 4th time around a berm near the bottom, and I pulled into the tech zone through the feed, and I was just screaming that my cleat was broken, because I'd ridden the entire way down with one foot, and no matter what I did I couldn't get it in, so I assumed that was the issue. And I actually had a piece of slate rock jammed in there, and it was jammed in so hard I couldn't even pull it out. So Jared pulled it out for me, and I went off, and I was 50th. So that was pretty demoralising. I was just really emotional, not just angry and disappointed, but I was also in a lot of physical pain. Obviously I had rash up my right leg and arm, and they were burning, but that wasn't really the issue. My left wrist and my right shoulder were pretty weak, and yeah, it was just not a good day. I tried to put my head down and get back to it, but it's a really tough course to move up on, and seemed I was sort of catching groups in bunches on the flat, and just really struggling to get around them before the climbs, and it was just descending like a Gumby. I just rode in fear the entire time. I don't know whether the rock moved the cleat or ruined the pedal, but every time I sort of hit something I would get bucked off the bike, and I crashed 5 more times through the race, and yeah, it wasn't only frustrating, but by the end it was pretty scary actually, and just rode in fear and pain for the race and couldn't wait for it to be over. But unlike last year, I actually didn't get lapped out, so I had to ride all 7 laps, and I finished in 34th. So I was still surprised that I finished, and I think considering my issues, I think 34th was good, and I sort of looked at the times, and I think that maybe the best result I would have got on a good day would be 24th anyway, so probably not any better than that. So I've got a mini break now, 4 days off the bike, and then back on the dirt for a HC race in Groningen this weekend, which is only an hour from here in Solothurn. So pretty excited to get back to it and post a better result than last weekend. So we'll check in soon. Thank you. Bye.